After his proposal to SAARC nations to chalk out a strong strategy to fight coronavirus, Prime Minister Modi to lead India at video conference of all SAARC member countries says he has confidence that coming together of SAARC nations will lead to effective outcomes and benefit to the citizens. Number of positive cases in India reaches 93, out of which 76 are Indians and 17 foreign nationals. 9 of them have recovered so far. Government continues to help Indians abroad facing difficulty due to coronavirus shutdown. 236 Indians who were brought back to India from Iran sent to Indian Army Wellness Center at Jaisalmer for 14-day quarantine. 211 students and 7 compassionate cases departed by Air India flight from Milan in Italy. Governments around the world shut more borders as the number of global deaths from coronavirus crosses 5,300. US President Donald Trump tests negative for the virus. Spain to be put under lockdown. Spanish Prime Minister's wife Begona Gomez tests positive. Death toll in Italy rises by 14% in a day to 1,441. China reports 20 new confirmed cases with 10 new deaths. Amidst a political storm in Madhya Pradesh, Governor orders floor test for Kamal Nath government on Monday. Floor test will determine the future of the 14-month-old Madhya Pradesh government. Hello, you're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting the bulletin. In the next half an hour, we'll get an account of everything that's been making it to the headlines. Our top story first. Leaders from SAARC nations will be holding a video conference meeting as proposed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi later in the day to chalk out a common strategy to fight the threat of novel coronavirus in the region. Prime Minister Modi had on Friday expressed desire that the leadership of SAARC nations should chalk out a strong strategy to fight coronavirus. In a series of tweets, Prime Minister suggested that there should be a discussion through video conferencing. He said that an example can be set to the world and South Asia, which is home to a significant number of the global population, and also we should leave no stone unturned to ensure that people are healthy. And we're joined in by our correspondent Abhishek on phone line, who will spell out more details. Abhishek, this has been proposed by Prime Minister to have a discussion on the threat emerging from novel coronavirus between the leaders of the SAARC countries. Let us know, how important is it also when the Prime Minister says that the solution which is derived at could be an example for the other countries to follow?
Exactly, Preeti. See, this problem of coronavirus, this is not limited to a country. The spread of this virus is not something that you can stop at borders because humans are carriers, and you can never know a human whether he is carrying this coronavirus unless until it passes 10-15 days and then he exhibits some symptoms. So this is something very unusual, unprecedented, that has not been seen or registered in the past. And that is why it needs a very concerted and coordinated effort among all regional parts. SAARC being one of the world's mostly populated area, and it also has a large economic impact also. So the leaders, as Prime Minister initiated, that the leaders of this region need to come together and chalk out a strategy so that we can not only fight out the virus, but we can also smoothen our process of screening people, their transportation, their necessary transportation at sometimes are required, necessary traveling is required. Then there is a lot of export and import of goods and stuff among these countries. So everything needs to be straightened. Not at this. Not only these things need to be taken care of, because the total lockdown is necessary. But the point is how much we can allow or how many things we can exempt. Because we know that there are crises of machines, equipment, masks, and other medical aids also. Like India is a country who has there's good infrastructure and better medical expertise in this region, and it can cooperate in that way also. So these are the measures that these leaders will sit together and talk about. Also, Preeti, this whole virtual conference that Prime Minister has initiated comes the day after the same similar type of conference was held among G7 countries, where these countries tried to chalk out a strategy and try to, look into the current situation of this virus outbreak in their respective country. So this is something that world leaders across the region are trying to try, and this is what Prime Minister has also initiated in this region.
All right, Abhishek, thank you so much for joining us with those details. We'll come back to again during the day. That was our correspondent telling us how important is this conference, video conference, virtual video conference to be precise, which will be led by the Prime Minister, and he only had proposed it, and the discussion will be on the threat coming in from novel coronavirus. So we'll keep you updated. As of now, we'll move on to other news. There are 93 confirmed cases of COVID-19 virus in India, but good news is that 9 of them have been discharged after treatment. Of these, 17 are foreign nationals. In Delhi, 7 cases had been reported. 22 cases had come to light from Kerala. 2 cases were reported from Rajasthan. From Telangana, 1 case was reported. And here on your screens, we have the breakup of the confirmed cases which were reported from the country. Delhi had reported 7 cases. Kerala had reported the maximum of 22 cases. 2 cases were reported from Rajasthan. From Ladakh, the Union Territory of Ladakh, 3 cases were reported. 1 case was reported from Tamil Nadu. 2 cases from the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, 1 from Punjab, 6 from Karnataka, 19 from Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. 1 case was reported. Also, contact tracing of these cases has led to identification of more than 4,000 contacts who have been put under surveillance. Now, efforts are on to identify further contacts of these cases. So far, 12,29,363 passengers have been screened from 11,406 flights at the 30 designated airports. In addition, instructions to enforce quarantine for all incoming passengers as per the guidelines are being implemented.
We now have 84 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the country. Of these, 10 have fully recovered and discharged. Contact tracing of these cases has led to identification of more than 4,000 contacts who have been put under surveillance. Efforts are on to identify further contacts of these cases. The second case of death in the country is that of a 68-year-old female from West Delhi. She was mother of a confirmed case of COVID-19. The death is confirmed to be caused due to comorbidity. She had history of contact with a positive case. Her son had travel history to Switzerland and Italy. All the precautionary measures in this case as per protocol, including screening, quarantine of the contacts, is already taken up by the Ministry of Health and Government of Delhi, and the status is being monitored.
And we'll get you more updates on coronavirus, but at present, the breaking news that's coming in is from Jammu and Kashmir. 4 terrorists have been killed in Anantnag. This is the breaking news which has just come in. 4 terrorists were killed in Anantnag district of Jammu and Kashmir. Details are awaited. 4 terrorists were killed in Jammu and Kashmir. To get us more on that, our correspondent Salman Qazi is joining us. Salman, get us the details.
Yeah, there was a tip-off in the morning, and based on that tip-off, there was a coordinated search operation in Batargam village in Anantnag, and which resulted in a brief encounter, and it has resulted in the death of 4 militants. affiliation and identification of these militants is being done, and I think within some hours we'll be able to tell what is the identification of these militants and which organizations they belong to.
All right, Salman, what all has been obtained, what all has been recovered from these slain terrorists?
Right now, the only information we have is that the encounter was a result of a tip-off, and there was a coordinated search operation, and then suddenly which resulted in a very short encounter, and 4 militants were killed in this encounter.
All right. Also, let us know more about any more terrorists. Are there any doubts of more terrorists holed up there?
The security forces have not still lifted the cordon, and they are still doing the search in the area. So I think it's highly unlikely that there would be any more militants. But the operation is not over, and the cordon search operation in fact continues right now.
All right, the operation is still continuing. Salman, let us know more about this area where this cordon and search operation was imposed in Anantnag. Was it a residential area, a forested area? Let us know more about the details of the topography there.
Yeah, it's in the South Kashmir, Doordarshan. It's a residential area, and obviously this encounter has taken place in a residential area. We don't know where these militants in a house or they were in some other hideout, but we do know that this village is a residential area, and it's quite a big village, and the encounter has been a brief encounter, and which resulted in the death of 4 militants.
All right, Salman, that was our correspondent joining us, giving us details about the breaking news that's come in just now. 4 terrorists were killed by our forces in Anantnag in Jammu and Kashmir. He tells us that the cordon has not yet been lifted and the operation, the encounter is still continuing, but there are little chances of any more terrorists being holed up there. He also tells us that the initial investigation is still on and the identity of the terrorists has not yet been established. We'll keep you updated once the word comes in from there. Also, he tells us that Anantnag more or less is a residential locality. The terrorists were holed up hiding in the residential area in Anantnag, that is in South Kashmir. That was all our reporter told us as of now, because it's a little too early to establish details. Investigations are still on and the encounter is still on. The cordon has not yet been lifted. We'll get you the details once the details are spelled out by the authorities there. As of now, let's move on to other news now. Still with the coronavirus, Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan shared some information on how to prevent coronavirus. The minister in a series of tweets explained how washing hands with soap and water kills the virus. According to the tweet, the virus is a self-assembled nanoparticle with weakest link being the lipid bilayer, and soap dissolves the fat membrane. It turns it inactive and destroys the virus altogether. In another tweet, the Union Health Minister said, although alcohol-based sanitizers are effective, but nothing is comparable to soap and water, which is used for killing the virus. He added that coronavirus can be active outside the human body for hours altogether. "236 Indian citizens evacuated from Iran have arrived at Jaisalmer in the morning and have been shifted to the wellness center where quarantine is facilitated at the army cantonment there. Both army and civil administration are jointly ensuring that adequate care is provided to the returnees. Round-the-clock medical teams have been deployed by the Indian Army at the wellness centers at Jaisalmer in Rajasthan. Our correspondent Vishal Barrister spoke to the medical officer of the Indian Army who would be supervising the quarantined facility for the evacuees.
The largest military station in the country is ready with 6 wellness centers for the Indian evacuees, and I have with me the medical officer of the Indian Army, Colonel S. Ahmed. Let's talk to him and find out. Colonel Ahmed, purely on the medical part, how much prepared are you?
We are fully prepared to have them screened, evaluated and treated if required.
You said that they would be screened, so is it happening every day and how many times?
Yes, it will be happening every day, both in the morning as well as in the evening. We will be asking them for symptoms, we'll be taking their temperatures so that any person who exhibits symptoms of COVID-19 can be evacuated to the Air Force Hospital in Jaisalmer.
In case they develop a symptom, then what next?
Yeah, in case they develop symptoms, they will be evaluated by the medical officer. We will refer them with full precautions to the Air Force Hospital in Jaisalmer, which itself is prepared to admit them and treat them if required.
What steps are you guys taking, and how many people would be there around the clock to assess these people?
There will be a team of 10 medical, paramedical and nursing officers and approximately 10 to 12 people who will be looking after the ADAM part of the camp to make people comfortable, they stay comfortable.
Your team would also be quarantined along with them, so they would also be screened?
They will be kept under observation. They will be given full protective equipment as per Government of India guidelines, as per our Army guidelines. Those people who will be inside the facility will be fully protected with all equipment, and they have nothing much to fear about it.
Nothing much to fear about. This is what the medical officer of the Indian Army says, and so we all expect that all goes on well, because the Government of India is taking all steps and measures to protect its citizens, its nationals all across the world. With cameraman Sushil Sharma in Jaisalmer, this is Vishal Baristo, DD India.
And along with the Indian Army, Jaisalmer District Administration is all prepared to take care of the evacuees from abroad. The District Administration will be assisting the Indian Army in terms of providing medical kits and other required assistance to our evacuees. Our correspondent Vishal Baristo spoke to the District Collector of Jaisalmer, Namit Mehta. Let's listen in.
Indian government is taking all possible measures to help out the Indians who are there abroad, stuck abroad. And 6 wellness centers have been raised by the Indian Army here in Jaisalmer, and I have with me the District Collector of Jaisalmer, Mr. Namit Mehta. Let's talk to him and find out on his part of job. So in what way are you going to support the Indian Army?
No, we have received clear directions from the state government to assist and coordinate with the Indian Army in their effort to isolate and ensure that the passengers and the Indian citizens coming from Iran are properly isolated. We've been providing support in terms of human resource, the cleaning staff, and we're also providing them medical kits and medical equipments like masks and the PPE kits. Whatever assistance is being sought by the army, so we're trying to help them out.
How many masks have you have you given to army?
As of now, we've provided them around 2,000 masks. And as and when they demand more, a requisition is made, we'll provide them with more masks.
Do you have enough stuff available, or did you ask for reinforcements?
No, we have enough stuff and enough masks and other requirements, but looking to the need, we've already raised a demand with the state government.
In case they develop an infection, so what next?
It is only for the SOP that is to be maintained. They have to be isolated for a period of 14 days, and during that period, if they develop any symptom, then a test is again to be done, and if they are found positive, then they'll be shifted to a medical facility. And for that, the Indian Army has created a 10-bed facility at the Indian Air Force Station in Jaisalmer, and we also have a 10-bed facility at our Jawahar Hospital. So if in any case somebody develops the symptom of corona, then they will be shifted from the wellness center to the isolation ward.
So there you heard the district collector. The civil administration is also all prepared for any kind of eventuality, and the Indian Army is taking care of the evacuees. With cameraman Sushil Sharma in Jaisalmer, this is Vishal Baristo, DD News.
Meanwhile, an Air India special flight from Milan in Italy bringing back 218 passengers, including 211 students and 7 compassionate cases, has arrived at Delhi airport. The Indians who landed from Milan, Italy at the Delhi airport will be shifted to Indo-Tibetan Border Police's Sharla camp for a 14-day mandated quarantine. In the wake of threat from novel coronavirus pandemic, the Indian government has sealed its borders to contain the corona menace. Ministry of Home Affairs announced on Saturday that all types of passenger movements on Indo-Pak border will be suspended. Similarly, the MHA also informed earlier that all types of passenger movement will be suspended from Indo-Bangladesh, Indo-Nepal, Indo-Bhutan and Indo-Myanmar border. except from specified border checkposts from today. And Pune police have arrested 3 accused under the Section 7 of Essential Commodities Act for selling substandard sanitizers in the city at the time of corona outbreak. The accused was making sanitizers at home and was selling it in a market without having any registration of the product. He had also made fake stickers of a company which he used to stick on the product. So far, the sanitizers worth 1.2 lakh rupees have been recovered from the accused, and police have also arrested 2 of his co-accomplices in the case. Now, the accused have been booked under Section 336, 276 and 420 of the IPC, along with Section 7 of Essential Commodities Act. In view of coronavirus outbreak, the Srinagar Municipal Corporation has launched a special sanitation drive in Srinagar. The health workers have been pressed into service to spray the areas to sanitize the public spaces. An awareness drive is also taking place across Srinagar to make people aware about coronavirus. Masks are also being distributed at public places. And a similar drive was also held in Jammu. Jammu Municipal Corporation, in collaboration with Department of Health, sprayed sodium hypochlorite to disinfect the areas. The step was taken after high alert was sounded across the globe about coronavirus disease. And we leave you with tips to beat COVID-19. Follow these tips and make sure you remain healthy.
तो इसके लक्षण नॉन स्पेसिफिक हैं, जो कॉमन कोल्ड या इन्फ्लुएंजा के लक्षण है उसी तरह से कोविड-19 के लक्षण हैं। बुखार होता है, बुखार के साथ जुखाम, नज़ला, गले में खराश, खांसी और बॉडी एक्स हो सकते हैं। ये आम कॉमन फ्लू के लक्षण है जो इस टाइम जब मौसम बदल रहा है तो बहुत लोगों को हो सकते हैं, इसलिए इसमें घबराने की बात नहीं है। इसके साथ 2 चीज़ें और जुड़ना है जब हम कह सकते हैं कि आपको कोरोना वायरस हो सकता है और अपने टेस्ट कराएं। उसमें से एक चीज़ तो ये है कि अगर आप पिछले 2 हफ्ते में ट्रैवल करके आए हैं, विदेश से आए हैं और ऐसे देश से आए हैं जहाँ पे कोरोना वायरस का आउटब्रेक हो रहा है, ज़्यादा केसेस आ रहे हैं, जैसे इटली है, चाइना है, साउथ कोरिया है या ईरान है, या आप ऐसे पेशेंट के संपर्क में आए हैं, क्लोज कॉन्टैक्ट में आए हैं जो कोरोना वायरस का लेबोरेटरी कंफर्म्ड केस है। अगर ये दोनों चीज़ें हैं और आपको ये लक्षण है, तभी आपको शक करना चाहिए कि आपको कोरोना वायरस इन्फेक्शन हो सकता है और आप डॉक्टर से संपर्क करें, अपने टेस्ट कराएं।
All right, that's it in this edition of the news. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.